Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're back in Ontario.
Both of us.
Yes.
Both of us.
Unfortunately, right, Kelly?
Yes. We're not going to go there tonight, okay? That's too sad a topic.
Yeah.
So okay. Well,
anyways,
I'm Kelly, and this is my friend Noelle, and we are together, Knits and Pieces. This is our informal knit chat that we host, and not a structured podcast. This is just where we gather together. Everybody's welcome. Bring some knitting, bring a beverage, whatever you like.
Yeah,
a good sense of humor. Did you come without knitting? You came to a knit night without knitting?
No, I had it. It's got to be here somewhere. I thought I was so prepared.
So we are a mostly knitting podcast when both of us remember to bring our knitting. But we do lots of other things too.
I found it. It was behind the computer.
There we go.
Anyways, I'm still just going to go quickly and say hi to everybody. First of all, Annette was the first one in here. And she said she thinks she might have to go to driving school for road rage to get here in time. We don't want anybody to get hurt or arrested.
No.
Getting to knit chat on time, but we're glad you're here, Annette. And Sarah's here, Janie, Elaine. Let's see who else. Whoops. I got to stop hitting things here.
Noelle's running the show again.
Can you tell?
That's why I'm on the other side tonight. We're going to try this.
Here. Tracy's here. Rachel's here. Kimmy, Donna, Valerie, Jess, Kim, Gwen, Wendy, Mary, Sheila, Julia, Donna, Trudy, Joan, Nicole, Heather, Kathy, two Kathys, another Mary, Monica, Amanda. This is getting harder and harder. There's so many people. Nikki, Emily, Linda, Teresa, Marianne. Oh, Sheila, that got to go shopping with you, or that you got to go shopping with.
Yes. More on that later.
Yep. Lillian, Amy, Linda, Majo, Sue, everybody. We're so glad that you're here. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I just like to say hi to everybody, and just because we love the fact that you come and join us every week.
Yes. I want to go all the way back to Elaine and her earlier comments, even before the show started. Elaine, there is no dirty 4-letter words allowed on this show. And yes, I am talking about snow.
Kelly, I love snow. It's so pretty, especially like I get so excited the very first snow of the year. Like I just want to put a sweater on and go outside and then come in and have hot buttered rum.
Why can't we just have one snow of the year? Just one. Let's get it over with. Call it pretty. Take a few nice pictures. Move on.
Well, I like it at the beginning of the year. And I like it when you have a first snow that's all nice and white and fluffy and pretty. But it looks pretty bad after it gets driven around for a while.
Absolutely. So,
anyway.
Okay. So what's going on, everybody? I'm trying to catch up now on what everybody's working on. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. Deb, my gosh, you're all here. Ewa's here. Did we say hi to Ewa?
No, we didn't. So Ewa, I know we've got people from like Minnesota, New York, South Carolina, Kincardine, all over. It's so amazing. It's just astounds me every time. So, I mean, like you think back, there's no way when we first started knitting that you could ever connect with people like this.
I didn't even know anybody else that knit.
No. And people did think it was strange. It's like, oh, you knit? Like,
Right. Yeah. You're not, you know what? I knit the little outfit that I brought Kendall home in from the hospital. It was peach colored. She was just peachy cute. And it was a little, the traditional little coming home from the hospital set, the little sweater, the hat, the booties. And I remember a lady at the hospital commenting, and she said, "Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. Did your grandmother knit that?"
I know.
And I said, "No, I knit that."
Yeah.
And she said, "You couldn't have knit that. You're too young to knit." I didn't know there was an age limit, like too young to knit. What's the age? What's the age? Anyway.
What's the age? The age is, I mean, come on. We were taught knitting when we were little.
So. Well, apparently this lady thought we weren't. I don't know.
Well,
anyway.
She must not have been taught.
She must not have been taught.
So we have people that are still finishing up their shawlography. I have seen some finished ones. I think the last clue was out Friday. So there are people that are finished.
I've seen some finished ones.
Yep. And
Neither
it's
Noelle,
amazing.
neither Noelle or I knit that
No.
one. But I have been admiring all of yours.
Yes.
There's a few
And there's so many
beautiful ones.
different color combinations and they look so different. And I don't know. I still can't wrap my head around doing something that I don't know what it's going to turn out like. Still can't do it. I like to know what I'm knitting. So, and even knowing what I'm knitting, sometimes it turns out as a surprise. So, yeah, Tracy says it seems like more young people are knitting now. And I think that's, don't you think part of that is when you see a podcast and it's someone that's kind of your age, you can relate to it more. And then it's like, oh, well, that's cool. Or plus, like, honestly, there's a lot of nice patterns out now, more so than when we first started knitting.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Definitely. So, and much nicer yarns.
Mm-hmm. So. Tracy's working on a Hannah sweater for her daughter. Janet is making shorty socks. Julia finished her shawl yesterday. And yes, I saw it, Julia. It's beautiful. I cannot wait to see it wrapped around your gorgeous neck.
Yeah. Janie said she's on the last 10 stripes of hers.
Well, you should be finished by the end of Knit Chat.
That's right. Janie? That's right. Not like us who haven't picked up our knitting and knit a stitch yet.
Jess is working on the throwback and Christmas colors. Jess is working on socks for Christmas and Teresa's working on throwback and Christmas colors. And that would be stunning. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
E was working on her shawlography and embracing her pace. And so you should. Yes. Everybody has their own pace.
Yeah. And you know what? I have to knit on more than one thing. And I think if you're doing that to get it done in time, it's almost got to be your main focus, right?
Okay. So here's the thing.
I would get bored.
I got a larger table down here. Noelle, you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to, oh yes, you did. Did you see the big table? No, you didn't see the big table.
Oh no, you had the one that we had to kind of.
Oh, and see, that's what's been happening. I know,
you told me that was going to happen. Well, we can still hear you.
Yeah, but that's no fun. Okay.
So are you going to switch to your other?
I'm going to switch phones. Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'll go through and see what everybody's still knitting here. I will. Okay. Janie says that she should be able to finish it tonight. Well, that's good. So I'm sure we'll see pictures tomorrow. Way to go, Janie. Sarah, you're working on an easy gartered lap blanket. That's a good thing to work on when you don't have to think. I don't even have my socks here, and I'm just on. I do have them, but I'm just on straight stocking stitch, and I'm still not doing very well on it. But there's my latest sock that I just cast on. This is an opal yarn. So this is one of my lucky dip ones that I've got to finish for Christmas. So this was my November pick. So this is, I think, the first time that I've actually started on it right at the beginning of the month instead of waiting till like the last week of the month to get it done. So, oh, Karen, she said she's working on dog sweaters. Oh, and Deborah says she's working on her summer's beach cardigan. Is that the one? Is that the Andrea Mowry one? So I'm actually going to do another one, but I thought it was Winter's Beach, but maybe it's Summer's Beach, and I'm just thinking it's Winter's Beach now because it's getting into winter and everybody's talking about snow. So Kathy, you've got socks plus a hat. What else do we have here? Gwen's working on the Chisholm sweater. I don't know if I know what that one is. Was Saka pie yarn from the Farmer's Daughter. I do like Farmer's Daughter, but I don't think I've heard of that base. So, oh, Nikki, your shawlography is on hold for your hat design. Oh, well, that's a good reason to put it on hold. I always think I should try and create something in a hat myself, but sometimes I just want to knit and not have to think. So, okay, so Julia. I don't know. Did Julia have pictures up yet on Instagram? Yes.
Yes, she does. She does.
Yes. So, and Lynn's working on spinning hand-dyed yarn as a holiday gift for her daughter. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So are you on a new phone now?
I'm on my old phone. So here's the thing. Are there some techie people out there? I'm just wondering. So my new iPhone has the USB-C attachment, and how I would traditionally attach that to my computer was just using the regular USB, and I would power that into the power end of the phone and then into the computer. And I know that we've used my new phone one time and it was completely fine, but it now no longer wants to stay connected. I have about a 5-minute window and then it wants to drop off. But my other phone, my old phone, has a low battery, and I did quickly try to charge it. So
well, is it charging though when you plug it into your computer?
Doesn't seem to be in that port.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking, I don't know if I need an actual USB-C port on the computer. Maybe that's the conflict. I don't know. If it's not the internet, it's the phone. It's something for me.
Well,
so,
it wouldn't be KnitChat without technical issues. So
that's what I heard. So I got to meet some of our lovely KnitChatters in person while I was in BC. Can I talk about that now?
Yes.
Okay. I got to meet Sheila, who is on here tonight, and Donna. And did we see Donna's name?
I said Donna, but I'm not sure how many Donnas we have on here.
Okay. So it was Donna Gilligan. If she's on here, I haven't seen a comment yet, but she might just be watching. And they are lovely. They are as lovely in person as I had hoped and assumed they would be. So kind, so generous. Sheila picked me up. Donna met her at her house. They live, I guess, not too far from my daughter. And they came to my daughter's house, picked me up, and we had the best day. Well, I mean, I had the best day. I can't speak for them, but I felt like we had the best day. Sheila was so lovely. She drove me everywhere. And we went to 3 yarn stores, which when you're in Vancouver, it takes a while to get to 3 yarn stores, let me assure you. And then we went to down to Granville Island, and we had lunch there at the market. And then we sat and we knit for a little bit and visited. And I just can't say enough. It was fantastic. I've got 2 new friends. Next time I go back to visit my daughter, definitely going to be getting together with them to sit and knit or just to do something. Maybe it'll be warmer weather and we can actually be outside in a park. But, there's Donna. Donna's in there now. And I just want to say, I mean, I told them, but it was wonderful. I mean, how would I ever have met you if it had not been for meeting you here first on KnitChat and then getting together in person? And it was so kind of Sheila to do all the driving, and it was such a great day. It was it was a great day.
I'm jealous, but happy for you guys.
Yes. Well, we talked about you and we said all good things, but I said, definitely we're going to get you out there and then we can all go together too. And
that would be awesome. So
Sheila says she's still coveting that dream in color. Yeah. Oh, Sheila, don't get me started. I left yarn behind. We went into a store and I loved it. And I couldn't decide. There were probably 4 color options that I was really in love with. And I just couldn't settle on the 2 color combination. So I left yarn behind, but they told me that I'm going back. It will still be there. I know where it is.
That's right.
And I can go back.
That's right. So, and Kelly was texting me from the yarn store. So I sort of was there.
You sort of were. And I don't have that yarn beside me anymore. What I started to say before I was so rudely disconnected by my phone was that I have a bigger table now, but that is not helpful. What that is doing is just allowing me to spread more things on my table. And it's a good thing that my camera is not picking up what's here in front of me, because we were talking about having multiple projects on the go. So not only do I have hordes of yarn here, but I've got this project, this sock project. I've got this sock project still. I'm going to give you a real quick flash of this. This was like from last night, but I can only show it to you really quickly because it's a secret. And I've got this sock project on the go that I've been working on. I still have a blanket on the go over here. I've got new yarn that I'm going to talk about on our podcast this weekend. So you only get a quick peek of that too. You have to tune into the podcast. I got this new yarn and tell the story about the yarn. So I went to West Coast Wools.
West Coast Wools.
I went there and I had a yarn in mind that I wanted to get a sweater's quantity of. And Noelle had said if I go, maybe she would want something. So I went in, I looked at the wall of color. I chose my color. You can probably all guess what it was. I chose my color and I had it in my hand and I texted Noelle and I said, Noelle, I'm here. Was there a color you wanted me to show you? And she comes back with the name. What'd you say?
Gray lavender.
Gray lavender, which is what I was holding in my hand. So I said, well, that's okay. I'm going to get it anyway. We're going to have both of us the same color yarn.
Yeah.
And we've decided we're going to do a matching sweater. We've never done that.
Well, it was funny
before.
because I was talking to Tracy earlier in the week, and it was funny because I actually was talking to her the day after last knit chat, and I was driving, and so I answered the phone, and she's like, I said, oh, I'm driving. She goes, where? I said, well, I'm going to a yarn store. She goes, in BC. I'm like, no, I wish. So I was going to Country Yarns because they had a sale on, and I was getting some more yarn for some of the granddaughter sweaters, right? So I was talking to her for a while, and I said, yeah, Kelly's going there. And I said, you know what? I really have enough yarn. And we were talking a little bit about the Solia, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to get it. And the minute you texted me, like, yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah, I'm getting it. But it's so pretty. And as I said, I don't have it on this table, but
I seriously
we'll show it
just
on the
have
podcast this weekend.
No self-control when it comes to yarn. I thoroughly admit it. I have no self-control. Anyway, it's gorgeous. And after I saw the color in person, I would have been upset if I hadn't have gotten it.
If I had come home with it and you had said, no, I don't need any, you would be definitely disappointed.
Yes, I would have been disappointed.
You would have been.
So anyway.
So what are you wearing tonight?
I am wearing my Sunny Everyday cardigan by Albina McLaughlin. So she's the same designer of that colorwork one that I did in the remix, the Broco remix. Whatever her style is in her shape, I just really like the way it fits me, and I really like her patterns. So
it's such a pretty color.
Did you bring out your Mary Maxim sweater from last week we were talking about?
Oh shoot. No. And I can't get to it anyway because it's in the cedar chest, and we're still doing the renovations in the living room. So everything that I moved out of that room is strategically piled to the one corner, and the cedar chest is kind of buried. So I can't quite get to it. Okay. Did you get yours out?
I did. Not my Mary Maxim one, but I have some pretty choice ones to show you here.
Okay.
Anyways, first of all, I'm going to say Julia said, yes, hello, my name is Julia, and I'm a yarn addict. Anyway, and I thought, when people say, well, do you know what you're going to do with it? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to knit it.
I'm going to knit it. Sarah, we went to Wet Coast Wool, we went to Urban Yarns, and we went to 3 Bags Full. And something left every store with me, not going to lie. And somebody else was asking what I was wearing tonight. And this is my Love Note sweater. Not that you can see it behind this long hair tonight, but it's, I'm trying to think now what the yarn is that I used. Shalimar was it was a light blue. And then I paired it with a dark blue drops mohair.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So, I think I talked to you before about the vest that I did for Ross. I'm going to show you. So here is this calf facet mosaic vest.
Gorgeous.
This has got to be 20 years old. And he did wear it. He doesn't wear it now, but he did wear it. This thing was a flippin' pain to knit because this is all intarsia.
Oh my goodness.
So it's
how many little balls did you have going?
There were like threads hanging down all over the place. Like it was just.
Oh, and it's like 3D too. I can see it now. That you're. Oh, wow.
So I hated knitting this. I hated every minute of it. I hated it. But he liked the pattern and he liked it. So we got this, but I'm going to show you. I took some pictures because I don't want it. I like the pattern.
Yeah,
right? But
absolutely.
I'm just going to show you.
Absolutely.
Because I took some pictures and I thought I could adapt it. But first of all, there's a picture without anything, how wide it is.
There'd be a fair bit of adapting to get that.
Okay, but then if you kind of like take it in at the back, it actually doesn't look that bad.
No, it doesn't.
No, so that was just kind of like I'd have to do something with the arms too, but like it's all wool. I could actually cut the sides and
you could. That's tight enough fabric.
Yeah. So
maybe
he's not
switch
going to
up
wear it.
maybe switch up the buttons a bit for you to make it a little bit more feminine. And if you took it up a bit in the shoulders as well, right? Then it would fit a little bit better.
I think if I just like the armhole,
great to wear with a denim jacket.
Yeah. So anyways,
I like it.
I wouldn't want to just throw it out, right?
No. If you hated every minute of knitting it, you can't get rid of that.
No, I didn't like mosaic. I didn't like, not mosaic, because it's not mosaic. I didn't like intarsia back then. I don't know why I was still doing it or why I ever said I would knit that.
I don't know.
And it took years because I just kept putting it away. So anyway. Yeah. Like I don't mind it.
I think we can do something with that, Noelle.
Yeah, I think so. So anyways, yeah, Tracy, one of those clincher clasps at the back, I might be able to do, and then do something with the underarms. Anyways, I'm sure I can figure out something. So anyway,
I think I could just stitch the whole thing. I'll bet it's a dense enough fabric that I could actually sew it.
Oh, I'm sure you could sew it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Tracy is commenting that it will not work as a bunting bag.
No, did you see that?
Yes. So anybody that follows, can you put her comment up so everybody can see her name if they want to check out what she did on Instagram? So our friend Tracy had a sweater from ages ago, and she didn't care for the sweater anymore, but she thought it would make a great bunting bag, and she turned it into a bunting bag for her grandson. Yes, grandson. So I just saw the pictures before I came down here tonight. It turned out so cute. And I think she even has something she plans to do with it after the bunting bag. Wasn't she still thinking about something beyond that, I thought?
Well, you could do a pillow, right?
That's right. Okay.
Tracy says it was 1992 that she knit it. So it was funny because when we went up there this summer, Ross brought his vest and her husband had his sweater. So the old knits are, so anyway, so I'm going to, because I have sweaters like that too. But I don't have any grandbabies to put them in that are small enough to put them in. But here's one of Ross's. This thing weighs a flippin' ton. Seriously, I don't know how much yarn is in this. And really, honestly, like, look at the arms. I could make my sweater. I could make myself a sweater out of one of the arms.
I know, right? We've talked about this before. So you could probably get a few cushions out of that.
Yeah, like look, I could do two baby bunting bags, one from each sleeve.
So what's the technique? Is that intarsia again? No.
This one is all stranded, but this is when I did stranded, and I was following the technique that Philosopher's Wool had out. I don't know if you ever remembered that, where you actually catch every single stitch.
Oh, so it is literally as dense can be.
It is. I could cut this and it would cut it and it would stay.
Yeah. You could cut it into tiny squares and it wouldn't come apart.
Yeah. So anyway,
that would be so much fun. So what are we going to make with that one?
With it. I don't know, but I have that one and I have this one.
Oh, I like that one. I love that purple.
So,
they kind of look like the little things from Star Wars.
They're called it was called the Trillium sweater.
Okay. All right. Trillium or Stormtroopers.
But again, look at the sleeves. They're like huge.
We could definitely make some things out of that.
I mean, seriously. Yeah. So, and definitely like pillows, right? For like a pillow front. And I mean, I could easily, you try not to felt them before, but I could easily felt that fabric.
Yeah.
So, and like, honestly, I don't know. I mean, and he did wear them. I don't know how he could have worn them because literally they weigh a ton. They weigh a ton. So,
well, they would be warm.
Yeah. Yeah. Julia says it looks like popcorn.
Or Star Wars. Yeah. Popcorn's Star Wars, good too. Yeah. Yes.
So
we could definitely do something with that. That'll be a winter project. Let's work on that.
Yes.
After Christmas.
Well, you could even do like a tote bag somehow.
You could turn it into a tote bag if we felted it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I could just do put a nice fabric lining in it.
Yeah. And then get like maybe a leather handle or something. Cause I really do like the Trillium one.
Yeah. I think it would be nice to make it like a rectangular sort of bag and use it like a crossbody, like a messenger style, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So we need to see your Mary Maxim one. I'm surprised he kept those because he got rid of all of mine. I don't know why he kept his and got rid of mine.
That's hilarious.
So.
Good. All right. I will attempt this week to dig out the cedar chest and see what's in there. There's some oldies. There's some oldies.
But it's amazing, right? How even like we said before, the sweater styles change.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the knitting techniques. Like I would never do that catch every single one anymore because it just makes the fabric way too dense.
I'll bet you weren't knitting those sweaters as quick as the ones you knit now.
Well, yeah, but they're worsted,
I suppose, but still
so,
those sleeves and the arms and everything, right?
Well, and then it was like the sleeves, I actually steeked those. I was actually steeking back at that point where I'd go up and actually steek and now I'm more timid to steek. And I thought I steek those, like it's not any different.
No.
So anyways. Okay, I feel, a new product line. Yeah, new product line coming to the Tangled Stitch Shop. Recycled old sweater bags.
I'll just have to start haunting all of the like Goodwill stores in town, looking for old hand knit sweaters. I've thought about doing that, using some old Afghans to turn into tote bags too. I thought that would be a good idea. Yeah. But the thing about Afghans is most people knit those using acrylic. Yeah. And then that wouldn't necessarily felt or make the best fabric for sewing. But
yeah.
Hey,
yeah, Lynn says she's seen mittens sewn from old sweaters. I've seen that too, like where they have that on the outside and then you just put like a
my friend was
or something on the inside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would look good. So
much fun. See, you can't get rid of that old knit stuff. You've got to hang on to it.
There are sweaters that I made for the kids that I wish I would have kept. But at the time I thought, well, when I have grandchildren, I'll just knit new ones, which I'm doing. But at the same point, it would have been nostalgic to have those ones to go back and still have. But anyway.
Mary says, do we remember the old wood handles that you could buy to make? You can still buy those.
Yeah, that's right. Linda says she loves the repurposing ideas. It is like, they're good fabric and they're 100% wool. Like we can find something else to do with them.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's right. We saved them for 30 years. We're not just going to throw them out now. So, hi, Cheryl. Cheryl just joined us. So anyway, so what have you been knitting this week?
Oh, well, these. I only have 2 thumbs left to do. Am I in the right bag? Yeah, I'm in the right
bag. Your
yeah, I can put one on my left hand here. Am I still attached? What's going on? Here we are. This is from that baby llama, pure baby llama, the discontinued yarn, Diamond Luxury discontinued. But I'll get the thumbs in. Look.
Oh, those are pretty.
Look at that.
Those are so pretty.
Look at the underside.
So what weight is that yarn?
I think it's a sport. 22 stitches. So it's a sport, right? Sport-ish.
24 stitches? Yeah.
22.
Oh, 22. Well, is that what it says on the ball band? But what tension are you knitting it to in the?
I'm knitting on 3s for this. And then the cuff was 2.75.
Okay. So you're knitting it tighter than what the gauge says on the ball band.
Yes. But honestly, these things feel like cashmere. They're like butter. Can you see the loft? I'm going to try to capture that. Look at that loft.
I want to revisit that feel like butter thing. I don't want my hands to feel like butter.
Yes, you do. They're so soft.
Every time people say, "Oh, it feels like butter," I'm like, every time I stick my hands in butter, I have to wash them.
Oh, they're just luscious. I can't wait.
I
can't wait to get thumbs in them though.
About how soft they are, but I just don't get the analogy between feels like butter.
Because they slide. They glide. I don't know. Am I getting way too excited about mitts? I don't know. They're so pretty.
I get the feels like cashmere. I get that.
Yeah, but cashmere, I would call that like butter too. Soft like butter.
You feel cashmere and you feel butter and they don't feel the same.
But it's slippery. It's that
okay, I'll give you the butter. I'll take the cashmere.
No way. And you're not getting the mittens either, but they are gorgeous. So if anybody has that in their stash, those are the Cielo hand warmers. And it's a free pattern by Claudia at Unit.
Yes. Yes, and
that's what
Barb is right. Butter is silky feeling, but it is greasy. Sarah says she's with me. I don't understand that expression.
But it feels really nice on your hands. You know, if you put butter on your hands and rub them in, it feels really
I've
good.
never put butter on my hands. Not real butter.
Okay. And then I've been working on this sock. I cast this on the plane.
That's so pretty. That colorway is so pretty.
There we go. It is pretty. I really like it.
These like those kind of yarns are like amazing because I'm working with this one right now, and this is an opal yarn. So you look at the ball, and same with if you look at your ball, and then you look at what it knits up to.
Yep.
Like it's a surprise while you're knitting. Like you have no idea how the pattern's actually gonna come out unless there's an actual picture on the ball band.
Yeah.
Right. And yours didn't, right? Mine's the one that has the picture on the ball band.
Right. So anyway, that's just what I've been working on. Nothing much. Okay, not surprising, I'm sure, but in the 2.5 weeks that I had in BC, teeny tiny bits of knitting because I had something else in my hands, in my arms.
Right.
And I'm still sad about not having that something else in my arms. Right. I'm going to not lie about that. Been feeling very empty for the last 2 days.
When I went and stayed with Jacqueline when Zoe was little, I didn't get any knitting done. Because if she was not eating, I wanted to hold her.
That's right. That's right. And you know, we need morning snuggles, we need afternoon snuggles, and he is very snuggly, very snuggly. He likes to be held, he likes to be cuddled. He's a good snuggle buddy.
Yeah.
So Kathy has an oversized vest that her daughter knit for her aunt 30 years ago. She was in high school. She can't part with it. Maybe she can repurpose it. You can, Kathy, absolutely. Just think of what you'd like as the pattern. Like when I saw the purple one, that really spoke to me as a bag.
Yeah.
The other one, maybe cushions, because, you know, it had like the stronger verticals, right? It would look nice as a cushion, but honestly, for anything. And I do think, I agree with you on the vest too. I think I'd be trying to redo that to fit you because I really like it. And I think it would look good with a denim jacket.
It's like too much work to just get rid of.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Kim. He is. Kim says Miles is adorable. He certainly is.
So do you get pictures every day?
I do. I get morning pictures. I get evening pictures.
And
pictures were a little late coming today.
Tracy, that's a good idea. Seat pads or hot pads?
Oh, I would like seat pads.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Cherie wants to know. Yes, it's the Love Notes sweater by Tin Can Knits. So I held 2 yarns. I used a mohair and a single, a Shalimar single and a drops mohair to get this. Nikki has a sweater that her husband felted. She's going to make hers into oven mitts. Well, that's a good idea too.
Yep. And Mary says she has some fisherman knit sweaters that she knit her hubby 31 years ago, and she's going to make into pillows. Actually, I have, and I'll show that one next week, and you need to get yours if you can get into it where it is. But I have a fisherman knit one that my mom and dad brought me the yarn back from Ireland, and I knit it. But again, it was like 30 years ago, so the style was those huge sleeves, and I still like the sweater, but it was a saddle shoulder, so I'm not sure how I could adapt the. Anyways, we'll have to look at it and see if we can figure something out. Because the body of the sweater is really nice. And I like the body of it just the way it is. It's just those freaking huge sleeves.
I know.
Why did we knit sleeves that came like...
Well, I've got that one red sweater. I know that I've shown it on here before. Yeah. And it's the same thing. The sleeves are like this big. But I really like the color scheme in that. So that would be nice as pillows too. Mm-hmm. So...
Josie wants to know what company you flew from Vancouver with.
WestJet.
Okay.
And I have to say, you know what? WestJet is fantastic. So we were set to fly out on the Saturday, the 15th or 16th. And I had the feeling that Miles was coming early. Kendall went into labor earlier in the week. And by Tuesday night, I'm saying, yes, that's why Knit Chat was canceled too, by the way, everybody. Thank you for... Instagram was lighting up. Is it time? You guys are great. And So I said to my husband, I think we need to go. We need to go. We should be packing a bag. So I called the airport to switch the flight, and we were able to switch it to Wednesday morning. We got out on an early flight, and they didn't even charge us any additional money. They said there was no money outstanding to change that flight. So I was thrilled with that. And then we came home on the 2-week Saturday after that. So we got an extra 3 days with Miles because he was actually born that morning on the 13th. So we got 3 extra days to spend with him. And flight was on time both ways. We came home on a Dreamliner. That's our second time flying on the Dreamliner from Vancouver. It's a huge plane. We actually had a whole row to ourselves, which was kind of nice. You get some spread out space, and yeah, it was good. It was all good. All good. So WestJet all the way.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Natalie. What else do we have?
Josie said she was doing some serious cleaning and she stumbled on 2 sweater knits that are only missing the sewing that won't happen. I have one of those to show you too. Okay,
We've been deep stashing this week.
This is, I was, that's right. I was looking through. So here is. It's going to be a cardigan.
Yes.
So I've got the whole body done. This is so long ago. I was still knitting on straight needles and knitting things in pieces. I think I did a 3 needle bind off for the shoulders. The sleeves are already done, but again, look how wide these things are. Like, seriously.
Oh, goodness.
So, but this is gorgeous yarn. It's like Rowan grainy silk. It feels amazing. It's like a 4-ply to a sport weight. Here was the sweater pattern. Look at her hair.
Look at her hair. Yeah.
Definitely 80s or.
That was my hair. That's still my hair. Not tonight.
Anyway, so that one, I think I really like the yarn. I'm not going to wear that style of sweater. I think and it's sitting in pieces. Both sleeves are done. And that's all I had to do was sew it together and put the band on, but it never got done. So I think I'm going to rip it out and knit something else. I could maybe just redo the sleeves, but there's so many other patterns that I'd rather have now that I'd rather just rip it out and do it again. So, oh, Natalie said she saw my sweater today. Thanks, Natalie. That was a pleasure to knit, Natalie. I loved every minute of that. So, unlike in Tarja, unlike that vest.
I saw the sweater on the weekend, and I love the yarn that you use too.
Hold it up.
You cannot, knitters, you cannot believe how lightweight this sweater is. This is the whole skein. It is light as a feather.
Yeah,
it's not like butter. It's light like a feather. Can you get that analogy? Can you get it?
I get the light as a feather. I get that.
Okay, you get that one.
If this felt like butter, I could just slip it right over.
Exactly. See, you're getting it. You're getting it now.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Anyways, that one was so much fun to knit. And the whole skein, someone asked me if I wash it before I work with it. I don't, but you are totally right. When I'm working with that, if you're working in a dark color, that color is on my hands. I don't know if anybody else has that experience with it or not. And when I block those sweaters, I probably rinse out the water 4 or 5 times within the first 2 minutes. Because there is but I don't necessarily know that it's dye or whether it's spinning oil.
Okay, so for the darker colors, do you use a color catcher at all? Or do you wash the darker colors by themselves first?
No, once I've done kind of like the soaking out, because this was all done together. And I mean, my light colors are still the color that they were. And the very first sweater that I did with the Holst was, the background was the dark gray, and it had like the bleached white up in the top. And I had the same experience, and I hadn't washed anything first, and I didn't have a color catcher, and that white is still white. So whatever it is, it didn't seem to get into the rest of the sweater, but now I do have color catchers, and I do put a color catcher in with it.
Okay.
Just to be on the safe side. But yes, the yarn does, I think that's called crocking when it comes off in your hands. Like color does come off in my hands when I'm working with it.
Okay.
So
You've got quite a few votes for frogging of the blue yarn because it's
yes,
beautiful
well,
yarn.
don't worry. That's I am frogging. It's gorgeous yarn. I want to use it, so I am going to do that. And
Okay.
it's a silk, so it's not going to even to do anything with that as far as making a pillow. It's not going to felt like the wool will.
Okay.
So
Answering Mary's question, no, I knit the sweater single. So one strand of mohair, one strand of the Shalimar singles yarn.
yeah.
That's how I knit this. And there was another comment there. Barb was asking us, and Barb's a crocheter, so she's got some knitting questions. Imagine that, knitting questions on a knitting podcast.
On a knitting
wow.
podcast.
Okay, so what do the color work words mean? So intarsia is when you are carrying, for every section of color that you're doing in your project, there's an individual little ball of yarn. So lots of little, some people spindle them, or not spindle them, but put them on little skeins and carry them behind the work. Or some people just put them in little balls. So every time you get to a color, you're going to twist that color and then go on to the next color. And then you could knit back, twist the color back. It's not my most pleasurable knitting experience because it means that you've got all of these tiny little balls of yarn, depending on how involved, I guess, your project is. You're going to have all of these little balls that you have to constantly keep unwinding. And over the years, I've seen many methods of how people keep them straight. None of those methods ever worked for me. And Intarsia was never my favorite thing to do. So
okay, if you look across here, so you can see where the color is not carried across. Like, so where that orange is, that's just orange. So you just knit, pick up the orange, go across, pick up the next color, drop the orange, go across. So you've got one ball, little thing hanging down for every color that you've got across that.
Yeah.
So even though that's right, even though the black goes across because there's too much space in between, you've got a separate little ball for all your black, right?
Yeah.
But then when you're doing stranded, you can see where the colors are carried right across. So
that's Intarsia, that's stranded. And then she's asking about mosaic. Now, mosaic is a beast of a different animal, but really lovely to work on because you're generally working with two colors of yarn, but you're only ever working with one color at a time. So it ends up looking exactly like color work, but you basically go across the row and back with one color. So you're knitting some of the stitches and slipping some of the stitches, and then you go back and then you pick up the other color, and the ones that you slipped is where you'd be knitting, and the knit ones you would slip. And what that will do is you have a graft pattern, much like in crochet, a graft pattern, and that will create a pattern in your knitting. Yeah. And so for anybody that wants to do something in color work and it's their first time doing color work, mosaic is a great place to start because you don't have to worry about tensioning the yarn when you're carrying it behind the stitches. So that's all the terms. There we go.
Okay. And Josie asked about whether the yarn would bleed onto other colors. I did not have that experience, but I can't say that for sure for everybody. Like, I don't know, maybe I was just lucky. I believe me, I was worried. I was going to take a picture, and maybe the next time when I do one, I will take a picture for you to show you like how dark the water is. But,
okay. Oh, I'm all the way back here. Julia's talking about color flocking, and I guess that's where it's coming off onto your hands. So she says that it's more likely that it's the pH of your body.
Okay.
And the color in the water is likely the spinning oil.
Okay.
So that's all.
Janet wanted to know what a color catcher was. So a color catcher is it just looks like a little sheet.
Looks like a bounce sheet almost.
Kleenexy.
Yeah.
A little bit stronger than Kleenexy or a paper towel. Yeah, like a dryer sheet. And you just put it in your wherever you're soaking your garments in. And it supposedly, if there's excess dye that goes into the water, it will absorb it as opposed to it going into other parts of your garment.
Okay.
So yes, maybe, Julie, I thought that's what it was. Crocking, not flocking.
I just call it bleeding. That's what I call it.
No, the crocking is when it comes off on your hands.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
But I would still call that bleeding. I always say, look, the color bled on my hands.
Okay.
maybe Janet, next week, I'll try to bring I have them sitting in my laundry room. So I'll try to bring the color catchers next week so we can show that.
I've just been, now that I couldn't find them anywhere around here, but Little Red Mitten has them now. So I've actually picked them up when I go down there, because now I think just to be on the safe side, I would always put one in.
Okay.
So
Nikki has a question. This question's actually for Natalie. She said that she won a pattern from Natalie last month on our, was it the socks? Yes, it would have been the socks on our monthly sock pattern draw. And she wants to know if she would be able to, she hasn't chose her pattern yet. She wants to know if she'd be able to choose the pattern for that sweater. So we'll wait for Natalie to answer on that. Natalie already answered. If I could catch up in the comments, she said, yes, it will count when it comes out. So
thanks, Natalie.
When are you planning to release that, Natalie, that pattern? Do you know? And okay, Barb said that's exactly what she was asking. Good. I'm way behind in comments. I know. Sorry. Oh, Wendy is saying that quilt shops often carry the color catchers too. I don't remember where I got mine. Oh, yes, I do. I got it from Wool and Silk in Shelburne.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully the middle of the month.
Lauren wanted to know if it is Holt Super Soft in the Christmas sweater, and no, it's not held double. It's just held single, and I did it on a 3mm needle. So, but I am actually working on a Holst sweater right now that I might have done by next week. That's the Holst held double. So when you hold it double, you're getting like a DK to a worsted weight. And I mean, it just depends on how tight you want to knit it. So I'm liking working with it double too, but my preference for sweaters, I really like finer weight sweaters. I still do.
What size needles did you use, Noelle, for that sweater?
3mm.
3. Okay.
Yeah. But I think I can't remember if that's the exact size in the pattern, but I used what I needed to get my gauge with the Holst. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do with knitting anyway, right? Use the size needles that you need to get whatever the gauge is.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful pattern, Natalie.
It is.
I honestly don't know if I have it in me. Because that would be for me, that would be a lengthy project. So it's a lot of knitting, but I loved Noelle's sweater when I saw it on the weekend. I was so jealous of it, actually. It's so beautiful.
I really love it. I love the feel of it. And the Holst really does. The Holst garn is never going to be a really super soft. I don't know why they call it super soft, but it's never going to feel like butter.
Never going to feel like butter. No, it's not.
Anyways, but it definitely does soften up.
But the thing about
once you get all that spinning oil out of it,
you can get the big cones.
Yes.
There's one over my head, cones. But 500-gram cones.
Yep.
Now, the odd thing is it doesn't feel that rough here. But when I looked at your other sweater that you finished, the Slow, which I have, there's one of those right here, the Slow. It felt really rough.
Yeah.
But I know it won't when you block it. But this doesn't feel like it would be that bad on my hands.
Well, you felt the Christmas one. The Christmas sweater didn't feel like the other one.
No, it was so soft.
No. Yeah. So it does soften up quite a bit, but it's still not a merino wool.
No.
I'm just saying, for someone that really is really sensitive, I'm still not sure that would work. But I think it's fine. So Josie says she just finished a sweater from Isabel Kramer with super soft, and she knitted it on a 3.75, and it's perfect. But again, I think those are all things that you kind of have to go through and figure out with your own gauge. You know, because like you can't say one specific size for a particular person, because that might not be the fabric that you like. Everybody likes a different fabric. Everybody likes, how it drapes. So you've got to do your own, not research, but and I'd say swatch, except I don't do that.
No, but okay. In your defense, you've done a lot of knitting with the whole super soft. So you know what your tension and what your gauge is, so that you didn't need to swatch.
Yeah.
Barb is still talking about mosaic, and she's doing the night shift. And yes, absolutely. That's a mosaic.
Yeah.
And that's a mosaic pattern that we both love.
Yes.
We've done
And the thing
several
with,
of.
I mean, the thing with the mosaic knitting is it really looks so much more complicated than what it actually is. And the finished garment that you get looks like it was so much more work than it actually was.
Okay.
So
here's a question I'm going to pop up. Mary is working on binding off ribbing on toe-up socks. It's not her go-to. What bind off does everyone prefer? She found that the surprisingly stretchy bind off flares a bit. We find that too. And I know what Noelle and I are both going to say, tubular bind off.
yeah, I do tubular.
Yeah. So, but are there some other methods that other people?
You could try
that
the
are working with?
Icelandic one.
Mm-hmm.
You could try the Icelandic bind off. It kind of mimics a twisted German cast on.
Yes. Yes. That looks really
So,
nice.
but I still like the tubular better, but everybody doesn't like tubular. So, and the thing about the flaring, a lot of people say the flaring is more just when you're looking at the sock, not on your foot, that once you actually put it on, that you really don't see that flaring,
right?
like, because it gets stretched out a little bit around your calf, right? So you don't see the flaring then.
Yeah. Susan says that she likes the look of a sewn bind, but I can't talk again tonight. A sewn bind off on toe-up socks. That's a nice one too.
Yeah. Now, isn't the sewn just kind of like the tubular, except you don't do the setup rows?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes I do one or the other. I kind of like if I'm doing a little pop of color, that I just want at the top. It's nice if you're doing the tubular to do those setup rows and then cast it off, because it just gives it that little bit more color. So,
I have a knot. I'm not going to spit slice. I had to do this on the plane twice. I did not spit slice on the plane. I dipped carefully my fingers in my water glass. Well, gosh darn it.
Okay, Laura just asked, she said she's late to the party. She's in the UK, but she was curious to know if there's any Black Friday events that we're looking forward to.
I don't know of any.
I don't know of any here. Like I've never really look. I mean, I know a lot of people, because we're in a border city, used to go across the border for all the sales on in the States on the day after Thanksgiving, after the American Thanksgiving.
Is she talking about that, or is she talking about like yarny sales?
Oh, maybe.
Didn't you say?
I know some places do have, some yarn things do, but I haven't heard of anything.
When does Holst have their big sale?
They didn't have it last year.
Oh, okay. Well, scratch that then.
But I don't know if that means they're not going to have it this year, but they didn't have it last year. So I know they used to have it, and it used to be like 20% off everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
Emily's talking about another method too. Bind off every other stitch the normal way.
This one?
Then.
Whoops. Wrong one.
Emily.
Okay. Wrong. This one.
Okay, I think we're both pushing buttons.
We're both doing it.
Okay, I'm going to stop with the buttons.
There we go.
We can't both be in charge. Bind off every other stitch the normal way, and then the stretchy way. Pass over, then knit together through the back loop. Repeat. I don't think I've heard of that method. I've heard of this. Sort of, you
every other
bring
stitch
them over
the
and then
way.
knit the two together. Excuse
me
while I dip in my water.
Tracy said she would have spit spliced on the plane.
Couldn't take my mask off, Tracy. I wasn't actively eating. You have to be actively eating. And spit works better than water.
Laura says in Europe, all of November is Black Friday.
Oh.
And I know Holst does usually, but I know because we were waiting last year to order, and then they never had it. So
Klaska wants to know, would I hold it double off the cone? No, I would cake some off, and I would use it into two cakes, and then I would knit it together that way. That's what you do too, isn't it, Noelle?
I roll off and up, but I use the cone for the other one.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So,
but if you're not knitting at home, if you want to take it somewhere with you.
Well, yes, if I was taking it somewhere, yeah, then I would roll it off into balls. So, Laura was wondering if Knit Picks had anything.
I got a new catalog today. Their
Did you?
magazine.
Did it say anything about anything for Black Friday?
I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. It's sitting on the table upstairs.
I don't know if they normally do anything. I haven't ordered from KnitPicks like in ages.
I ordered not too long ago. They're currently having their 12 weeks of gifting.
Okay.
So it's every week they give a free pattern, and then they highlight the yarn that goes with that pattern. This week I think it was pillows.
What was it?
But you've already got the pillows knit. We're just going to cut them up.
I just need the pillow frames or forms, whatever you call them, not frames.
I have lots of those.
Natalie says a lot of American places have their Black Friday events online.
Right. That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. She says she's often frustrated by the commercial buy with the whole offline thing. And that's it. Like sometimes you get caught up and then you're buying things that, like if you're going to buy it on sale and you wouldn't have normally bought it, you have to really think about how much you really wanted it. If it was something that you wanted and you were waiting for it to go on sale, that's different. But
I like this. True confession time here. Susan says, Tracy, I've done it on the train discreetly.
There you go.
So discreetly, nobody knew. Sounds like a feminine product ad. Oh, what else have we got?
Karen said she wanted to know if there was a duty charged when you order from KnitPicks. I've not ever had to pay duty, but I have heard of people
one time
who had.
I did.
Yeah.
One time I got hung up in duty, but not in a long time.
Yeah.
And I ordered a lot from them. So I really like their yarns. I like a lot of their yarns.
I just haven't. I don't know. I don't order that much yarn online.
Yes,
No, I don't. I don't. If I order online, it's usually Holst. And I might have just ordered a whole bunch of Holst. Did I just say I didn't order yarn online?
You're going to burn up, lady. You're going to burn up. See the smoke curling out of her ears? Yeah, she's telling a fib.
Okay, well, in my mind, I don't think I ordered that much yarn online.
Let's get Ross in the room and let's ask Ross.
He's not home tonight. What do you want to order? I can't hear his little ding go off on his credit card.
Oh, dear. What else do we have?
Anyway.
Oh, Klaska has 3 cones from Little Red Mitten, so she's looking forward to using them. I've got some cones sitting behind me too, Klaska, that I've got to break into.
Yeah, I really like knitting with Holst. So, and it was like, because I buy cones of the colors that I know I'm going to use a lot of, like kind of like staple colors. And then they've got so many colors, right? So that's what's nice when I've been doing some, like Natalie's, like the sweater for Natalie. I didn't have to go and buy it. Well, I did. Here I am again. I bought a cone of this red at Little Red Mitten, that red that's in the poinsettias.
That's pretty.
Because I thought I was going to make that the body of the sweater. I thought I was going to do the main color in the red, but then I thought, you know what? I think if I do it in the blue, I'm going to wear it more. Right? Because the red would make it look totally Christmassy.
Yeah.
Whereas this maybe just looks more wintry. But anyways, I did buy a whole cone of that red, but I really like that red and I wouldn't mind doing a whole sweater in it. But the rest of all those colors, like there's 11 colors in the sweater, the rest of all those colors I had. So I just went to I don't know how many colors I've got, a lot, and just pulled them out and kind of put ones that I thought would go nice in the different motifs and just worked it from what I already had. So I didn't have to go
you did a great job. Like it's very, not to compare patterns, but it has that Marie Wallen-esque quality to it. Like, you know, a lot of her patterns have so many colors in them that I think that's why people, the first sweater that you did from Marie Wallen, you bought a kit because you said, oh, I couldn't possibly put that many colors together. But you did. You put that many colors together for the sweater you just finished from Natalie, and it looks fantastic. You did a great job. So you can do it.
I guess. I guess. It was fun doing it, but it was more, I picked out like the colors I wanted in the motifs. So I don't know. And anyway, it was fun. And I liked picking out the ones I have to get back to my Yell cardigan. it's still sitting there looking at me, and I've got to do the felting on the band down the front. But I've had so many other things to get done that I haven't gotten back to it. But I really enjoyed doing that too. And it's funny because I think I was saying to you, and I know I was saying to Tracy, like I had originally thought of doing the Marie Wallen. She's got a mystery Fair Isle. I don't know if it's mystery, but her Fair Isle Club. And so it's a pattern that only those members get, but it's so expensive. And I just, I don't know. I mean, I like it, but it's not, I look at the sweater and I would really like to knit it, but it wouldn't be a pattern that I would say, oh, I'd pick that pattern and I want to do it. So that's a lot of money to pay to do. And a lot of her colors, she uses her yarn again. So a lot of it, the sweater is in colors that I've already done a sweater in.
Right.
So anyway.
Going back to the Knit Picks order, Barb was talking about saying that she might have an order that would be about $500. Here would be my suggestion for that if you wanted to avoid the duty. I think they offer free shipping to Canada, and I believe you are in Canada, for orders over $75. So I would just split that order up into some smaller orders, and I don't think you'd get, don't come to me if you do, but I don't think you'd get hit with the duty because I frequently would order anywhere between $75 and $150, and I didn't pay duty only one time out of all of that. And I also felt that that was during a time where I had heard that from a number of people that were shopping that duty was being charged. So I think it was just sort of like a wave of duty. And
well, I know it's funny because like when I ordered my Marie Wallen kit from the Woolly Thistle, it was quite expensive. Like by the time I bought the book and duty, or not duty, but the exchange on the money, and I didn't get charged anything. Yet another time when I just ordered from like an Etsy shop and just got like some like hand balm, which would have been an order less than $100, I ended up getting charged duty. So it's not, there's no set thing to say, oh, if it's under this, you're not going to get charged, or if it's over this, you're going to get charged. It's just, I think they can charge you if they want to. So.
Oh, hi, Glenda from Edinburgh. I'm sorry to read that you're not feeling well. I hope you feel better soon. And Kathy had a good idea too, going back. She says to keep an eye on announcements on Instagram and subscribe to emails from your favorite dyers. They often give you sometimes not necessarily a discount code, but like a heads up that they're going to be having a sale a little bit ahead of the sale. So that's a good idea.
Yep. Natalie wants to know if I order from Little Red Mitten. Actually, Natalie, I usually go, and it is. I mean, that's the one thing when you're ordering online, you can't see the colors. It is really nice to see the colors in person before you buy them. But you know, like I go fairly regularly, so if you either want to go with me or if you want me to pick something up for you, I can do that. In fact, I'm probably going this week.
Oh, what day are you going this week?
Well, do you have a day off?
No, I just got back from all those days off. You have no idea how much catching up I have to do. Oh my God.
I do.
My eyes are sore. I've been like staring
I used to hate the week back after being off work, because it was like, now I got to do like 4 weeks work in 1 week. I might go tomorrow. So if you need anything, let me know.
Okay. I will. I might want some of that, the Barocco, the remix.
Okay. Because I want to go, hopefully go see Jacqueline too. So.
Okay, good. What else have we got on here?
Okay, so Lynn wants to know the weight of the yarn on the cone. So it's 500 grams, but usually the most ones are more.
Usually more.
You usually get, like, by the time you take off the cone, you usually get close to 550 grams.
What did we weigh the cone in at? I forget.
Some of mine have weighed in like at over 600, but I can't remember. I think Tracy knew how much the cone weighed.
The actual cardboard cone.
Actual cardboard cone. Because I try to weigh my yarn for projects too. I really try to be good about that. But if you're talking about the yarn weight is like a fingering, and it's a light fingering.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
So, but it does, when you knit it does bloom once you wash it too.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So
Laura is wondering what Knit Picks yarn I would recommend. She's only tried Felici. Specific sweater yarns. Okay. I have
I
made
haven't knit with them
sweaters.
for sweaters, so
I've used just the wool of the Andes sweater. It's a really hard wearing, very value priced yarn. The colors are great in it, and it stays true to color through multiple washings. Um, Sweaters. Oh, I also have the city tweed, and I actually have that designated for the Andrea Mowry Winters Beach Cardi. So I've got that, but I've used the city tweed in other projects. I really like that one. A lot of the knit picks that I've used has been, I would say, more for their socks. I like the stroll. I have an entire bin of the stroll. Comes in 50-gram
yeah,
balls, and I love using stroll for like heels and toes.
yeah.
So when you have a yarn like this one, for instance, if you want it to do contrasting heels and toes, I'm telling you, there are colors and knit picks that will match this. It doesn't matter who you buy the yarn from, you can find something in knit picks to match it. So I've done that lots.
Well, and you even used the stroll as the contrast color in your Miss Rena.
Yes, I did. That's right. So I have used it in sweaters. It's really, really soft. And what else? Oh, I guess I've also used wool of the Andes when I'm doing some like baby knits. When I was doing the little dude sweater for James, I use that yarn. So it's fantastic yarn. I haven't. Oh, the other one that I got for sock yarn, you were talking about liking the Opal and the West Yorkshire spinners. I found that they have a line of yarn called Static, and it felt to me it's a little. I don't really want to use the word
No,
rustic, but if you're looking more for
a little
something
more
that feels like the
substantial.
German yarn, this was a little bit closer, and they have
Yeah.
some really pretty colorways. I've only knit with it one time to make a pair of socks, but I really like the socks. I wear them a lot. So hopefully
Yeah,
that helps.
and Natalie said that there's no rhyme or reason as far as when you get charged duty or not duty.
Well, there might
That I
be, but
agree
we
with
can't
that.
figure it
Well, yeah,
out.
we don't know it. And then Wendy says, how do you know about duty? I think most of the websites will say, Wendy, now I'm not sure about where you ordered from, but most of the websites will say you are responsible for any duties or anything charged by your country when it comes
And
in.
how you'll
And
know that is the mailman will knock on the door and say, you owe me some money.
yep. Or if you're not there, you will have to go to the post office and pay it before they will give you the package.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Yeah, and you don't always know. Like I'm always just so. Anyway.
So Kathy's talking about a sister company called We Crochet, and yes, it is the sister company for knit picks, but it's the same. I don't think we can actually directly order from the company called We Crochet in Canada, but it's the same. If we can, I know that I've gotten boxes before that say knit picks, and some of them say We Crochet.
Okay.
And it was the same, where it was $75 Canadian was the duty free, or sorry, the free shipping, which is that's really reasonable. $75. Yeah. It doesn't take long.
No. And Tracy said the Holst garn cardboard cones weigh 40 grams. So 40 I know I've weighed ones at over 600 grams.
I'm going to mark that
when I've got them. So
maybe if my pen would work. There we go. Cone, 40 grams. The other thing that's great from Knit Picks, I use it a ton, is their Dishy. I can't find any
that I do have
cotton yarn that I like better than Dishy, if you're interested in using that for anything.
Natalie says she's doing a sweater right now, and she's using the Knit Picks palette, and she really likes it. I think the palette is
would be similar to this.
Yes, because I think
the
not
thickness,
super washed.
In thickness, yeah.
Yeah. And she says she also likes the stroll for socks.
Okay, some people are now saying that they did get charged duty. Nikki said that if it came from DHL. See, a lot of the knit picks will be delivered from, or for me, they were delivered for DHL, and I didn't have that duty. So
yeah, I have not gotten charged duty, but I do know people that have. So,
but I think the one time I did get charged duty, I think it was DHL. But
okay.
Mary likes the Knit Picks Kotlin. That's nice too. And I've actually used that for dishcloths too. So.
Okay. And Deborah is making the winter speech cardi. Yeah, that's what I'm actually going to Little Red Mitten for, because I'm going to get some yarn to do that.
Oh, are you doing another one?
Yeah. Rachel already knows. It's for Rachel for her birthday. She already knows, though.
Nice.
So, and her birthday's at the beginning of December, so I better get started.
You'll be done that next week.
No, I won't. But anyways, I think I'm going to look at the Fiberco lore for it.
Because I saw that when I was in BC. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. I had that in my hands too.
I was going to do it in, I got a cone of the Holstgarn Tides, which is their wool silk. Yes. But I would have to hold it double. And I thought, you know what, with all those cables, and I don't like to use a cable needle, I didn't think I wanted to be doing it with like a 2 strands of yarn. So I decided I would just get a regular DK and not have to worry about that.
Okay.
So, yeah, Sheila says she's been dinged for duty a couple of times randomly. Yep. Yeah, after the initial time, you just go, suck it up and go get your yarn.
Yeah.
So that's why I do like to, if I'm looking for things, like try and shop in Canada if I can, simply to not have to worry about that. I have not ever been charged duty ordering from Holstgarn. No.
I've only ordered from there once, but I didn't.
I've ordered from there several times. When I said that I don't really order online. Would there be
another company that you order online from?
I don't. That's one of the companies I do order online from. But when I order online from there, I always buy enough yarn before it goes up to the next shipping level.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because so I think the last time we ordered, wasn't it $17 or maybe?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
It was reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Shirley. Shirley says she loves Knit Picks too.
Yeah.
So. Anyway. Yep. I get drawn into Holst because they have so many colors to choose from, and they're just like awesome looking colors. So
it's hard to, well, I guess you can get their shade cards too. So if you're thinking of doing multiple sweaters, like if you like it, you can actually buy their shade cards, and then you could see all of the colors if you're doing a lot of color work. But so Teresa,
but you know what? I find it's really hard with a shade card because the things are so little. Like at least it gives you an idea what the color was. But if I'm putting colors together in a sweater, I want to see the whole ball of yarns together. Like it's really hard just from a little wee tiny bit just to really see what it looked like. And even if you're going to take a picture to see if there's enough contrast, you really need to have more than just a little strand of. But it does give you a good idea, like if you're really not sure what the color looked like.
But itself, honestly, like so many of their colors go together. Like
yes,
there. Like I've got these 3 together here.
Yep. And they actually have them. If you look at the colors on the website, they've actually got them arranged so they kind of almost look like a gradient. So,
and then these 3 here. So it looked pretty dark up there, but when I pull it out, you're going to see that it's not. I kind of paired these 3 together. So it's a navy, a green, and a cream color. And I thought that looks really good. Any of those colors combined with this that's cinnamon, isn't it?
Yeah, cinnamon. Yep.
Yeah, cinnamon. But like, I love the way this looks with these colors. So sometimes I just like to put them up there for a little bit. They're going to hang out, and I'm going to just think about them for a while before I commit to colors. But they all go. They're really pretty colors, and they're not. Okay, so when you look at it too, I'm going to put that right up close. So hopefully that comes in. But you can see how many colors are actually in there. So it picks up a lot of different things.
Yeah. Janie wanted to know what was the softest Holst. I've felt tights. I haven't felt it wash. That's the one with the silk. But I would say it would be hard pressed to beat Coast. Coast is pretty soft.
Coast is really soft. Here's a couple of colors that I was playing with for Coast.
Yeah. And the coast is lamb's wool and cotton. I think it's like 55 lamb's wool and 45 cotton.
And it is,
It's
55
very soft.
and 45. So yeah, it is. It's really soft, really soft.
Oh, Tracy said she thinks that there is a list of countries online of countries that Canada has an agreement with, and we don't have to pay duty, but she may have dreamed that. I do remember looking at that because I do think that Denmark was one of the ones on the list. And I mean, we've ordered from, here I am telling you, we've ordered from somewhere else that I never order yarn from Wool Warehouse, right? And I've never been charged duty from Wool Warehouse. But again, I don't order huge amounts at a time. So, but I also have ordered from the UK in the past, but this was quite a few years ago. And I had ordered a couple of, I think, sweaters, was just from Marks and Spencer. That had to have been, that would be over 10 years ago. And I got charged with a whopping amount of duty for that. So it's hard to say. So, and I think trade agreements could have changed within that time too. So anyways, I think that Kelly's having either, oh, maybe she's back. There you go, you're back. You're back in time to say bye.
The phone was telling me it's a low battery.
Low battery. Okay. Anyways.
So I'll have to make sure that this one is charged up for next week. I don't know. What did the, so when we're sitting here looking at the video, it looks very clear for us. Was this, in anybody's opinion, was this a clearer podcast, or was this the same as every other week podcast?
Well, you didn't lose your internet. You just lost you didn't lose your internet this time.
I'm not running it this time.
No. But I'm saying, if you're looking at it in comparison to like, so that issue wasn't there. The reason that you were going this time was because of your phone, not because of your internet.
Right. So I'm just wondering if anybody can comment. I'll go back and I'll have a peek at it once it goes live.
As far as the clarity?
Yeah. As far as clarity, I can't tell because
they're saying same.
Same. Okay. Well, that's disappointing because I was hoping it would be better if we were using Noelle's internet, but okay.
But your internet wasn't the thing with oh, Tracy said you're a bit blurry, Kelly. That's lack of sleep, Tracy.
Well, that's disappointing then. Okay.
But anyway. Oh, Natalie says she thinks more clear than usual.
Oh, maybe it's Tracy's internet. I hear her internet's not that great.
Well, who knows? Like, you don't know. I could be like we're looking at, but then other people are watching it through the internet too. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, I guess.
So anyway.
Well, we'll keep working on it.
Yeah. Yep. So, okay. We're almost at 8:20. So
yeah. Well, it's been lovely hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about what we have going on. So we wrapped up our Fall for Shawls, and we'll have another month in the books for our sock along, our year-long socks.
Yep.
So we're hoping to record a podcast this weekend. And so there'll be some draws coming up for that. And Shirley says on the laptop we're clear. On the 60-inch TV, we're a bit blurry. Shirley, please stop watching us on a 60-inch TV.
You know what? When you get that close, I'm glad it's a little blurry. It just kind of blends things out.
Oh, goodness.
Blurry's not always bad.
No, blurry can be, as we age, blurry's a little better. It's a little kinder.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to have those two things wrapping up. And then I guess we're going to have to come up with a new knit along, Noelle.
Yeah,
we haven't really even had a chance.
We talked about we were going to do like winter accessories.
Yes. Maybe that's what we'll do.
But yeah, we'll figure that out and have a hashtag by the podcast.
We will. We'll have something. We'll have something going.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit fuzzy in Surrey. It's probably all that rain. It's all that rain. Oh, well. Anyway. Okay. Well, it has been absolutely lovely hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Thanks everybody for joining us.
And yeah, we'll be back next week. And we'll have a podcast up for you to watch.
Yeah, but it probably won't come out until after.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I'm speedy. Sometimes I'm not. But it'll be up there next week. And Hope you'll watch that. We're getting close to 3,000 subscribers. That would be nice to hit this podcast. We appreciate all the support that we've received so far.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of fun doing this, and we love hanging out with you. So have a great week, everybody. Have a safe week. Get lots of knitting done.
Everybody get lots of knitting done, and enjoy the snow if you have it.
Don't use that dirty word.
Well, I have to admit, snow looks a lot better to me now that I'm retired and don't have to go out and drive in it or shovel it. So
exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, take care, everybody, and we will see you next week. Okay. Bye. Yikes.